The dawn of the 20th century ushers in a period of political violence unprecedented in the history of modern China. This is the age of uprising, insurrection, bombing, and assassination. The question is this the bloody dawn of an era?
我是军人，死不足惜。遗憾的是，我今死去，大清必亡。共和成虽死亦荣，共和不成谁生亦辱。那我不如死的光荣。杀我者确是奇男子，朝廷不使我，唯此人使我，真无 知己也。
1912, Beijing railway station is strewn with luggage. What's left of the Qing dynasty is desperate to get out of the capital. It's 3 months since a single gunshot rang out in Wuchang, the opening salvo of a revolution that's so far seen the great Qing Empire lose half of its territory as its southern provinces declare independence. What's left totters on the edge of anarchy. One man believes his moment has come, Prime Minister Yuan Shikai. As the situation deteriorates, he deposes Zai Feng, the Prince Regent, and excludes all members of the Qing royal family from executive office. With the reins of military and political power firmly in his grasp, he opens negotiations with the secessionist Revolutionary Army in the south. But the revolutionaries are adamant. National unity rests on one precondition: the end of the Qing dynasty. Yet, despite Yuan Shikai's conciliatory gestures, many view the Qing premier with suspicion. On January the 16th, members of the Beijing-Tianjin Revolutionary League ambush Yuan after his daily audience with the emperor, killing dozens of guards and injuring many more. Yuan, however, escapes unscathed.
武昌起义以后呢，清政府跟南方革命军的和谈一直处于僵局啊。那么这个时候呢，革命党认为阻碍实现共和的这个最大的阻力就是袁世凯。那么袁世凯被行刺以后，他一方面呢秘密处决了行刺的这些革命党，另一方面呢他又通过这个京津同盟会，向这个革命的一方放风，就说阻碍革命的不是阻碍共和的不是我呀，是朝廷中另外有一些顽固分子。
10 days after the failed assassination attempt, a young man arrives in Beijing from Mukden. He has no luggage, and he puts up at the relatively humble Jintai Hotel near Tianmen Street. According to his business card, no humdrum commercial traveller. He's Chung Gung, a high-ranking military officer. The truth is that another assassin has just arrived in the capital. This man is a member of the same assassination squad that made the attempt on the life of Yuan Shikai, the Beijing-Tianjin Revolutionary League. And no luggage is going to arrive tonight, as he's not planning on sticking around. Tonight, someone is going to die by his hand. And when that man breathes his last, so too will the Qing dynasty. As the rays of winter die away, night falls over the Qing Empire. It's the 8th night of the 12th lunar month, January the 26th, 1912, the night of the La Ba Festival. Not far from the Forbidden City, in the headquarters of the General Staff, members of the court and military top brass look forward to the traditional holiday treat la bar porridge. But not all is as it seems. These men have a weightier matter to deal with than the porridge, the deteriorating political situation. All of them are die-hard royalists. Pu Wei, Prince Kong II, Zai Xuan, Emperor Guangxu's younger brother, Zai Tao, former Minister of the General Staff Office, Yu Lang, his successor, Zai Ze, former Minister of Finance, and Tie Liang, General of Jiangning. Then, a man called Liang Bi arrives, and in a sense, his arrival sums up the convulsions that have overtaken the traditional social order. The assembled princes and nobles hang on his every word. A year ago, Liang Bi was almost a nobody. Now, after Sun Yat-sen and Yuan Shikai, he's emerging as a powerful third force on the new Chinese political landscape. These Manchu loyalists are from the Zhongshe party. Two green dragons tattooed on their chests symbolize their determination to protect the Qing dynasty, even at the cost of their own lives. Right now, their objective is to rescue the premiership from the clutches of Yuan Shikai, destroy the Southern Revolutionary Army, and put Empress Dowager Long Yu on the throne. Liang Bi is a Manchu of the 8th banner, clearly outranked in terms of status by the likes of Pu Wei, a prince of the royal blood. Nevertheless, he's the real leader of the party. These desperate times have put a premium on ability, and the Manchu nobles are now more than willing to defer to a man of real ability, however humble his background. Moreover, Liang Bi has proved himself. He's the founder of the new army and the modern military academies that began to appear in the late Qing dynasty. He's a man who will go down in history as the driving force behind the Qing Empire's military modernization. But Liang Bi's progressive instincts don't extend to his politics. He's a die-hard royalist and a bitter opponent of republicanism. He's also long suspected Yuan Shikai of treachery and consistently recommended his dismissal. Yuan Shikai is desperate to get rid of this deadly rival. The question is, how to do it without being implicated.
那么当然，袁世凯呢就把杨弼呢看成是自己实现政治抱负的一个很大的一个绊脚石。遇刺了以后，他就让袁克定呢把这个消息呢转达给了京津同盟会的一个执委，一个领导人叫李时增的。那么告诉李时增呢说，你们刺杀的人呢刺杀错了，因为在整个这个御前大臣会议当中啊，就清政府内部呢我说了不算的，大家都是听梁弼的。 所以他自然就让革命党人把这个暗杀的目标呢，由自己呢转到了梁弼身上。
As the sky darkens, an assassin, in the guise of an officer from the new army, knocks on the gate of Liang Bi's official residence. The gatekeeper is taken aback. In his time, he's seen military men from every corner of the globe come to talk over military affairs with his master, but never one as unprepossessing as the man standing before him. The idea that a man like this could kill a fly, let alone the great Liang Bi, is too absurd for words, so he lets him in. But he's not Zhonggong at all. The business card he flashed in the hotel was a ruse. His real name is Peng Jiajian, and he's the leader of the Beijing-Tianjin Revolutionary League's assassination squad. He knows the risk involved in his lone bid to assassinate Liang Bi, but he revels in it.
就是说，我们讲彭家珍呢，他也是一个比较激进的一个革命党人，他呢也是比较迷信这种暗杀的手段，所以他其实在四川新军当军官的时候呢，就曾经动过要暗杀当时四川总督赵尔巽的这个想法。 有这个念头，但是他后来认为呢，第一，四川呢，暗杀四川，在四川实施暗杀呢，影响力比较小。另外一个时机呢，也都条件都不成熟，所以他还是放弃了自己这个想法。但是他一直是主张用这个暗杀的手段呀来进行革命的。
As night closes in around the General Staff Office, Liang Bi can no longer suppress his fears. Danger lurks everywhere. Just 3 months ago, the Wuchang uprising broke out, and its effect has been devastating. Now, only the 8 northern provinces are firmly under imperial control. The remaining 14 provinces are in the hands of the revolutionaries. Worse, Yuan Shikai, the most senior Qing minister, is sending out feelers to the rebels and putting pressure on the emperor to abdicate. The situation is critical. The empire totters on the edge of catastrophe, and the challenges ahead are dauntingly immense. Now, the mantle that fell on Liang Bi's shoulders when he was asked to lead the Zhongshe party feels like a crushing lead weight. How different it was when Liang Bi walked into the Forbidden City 8 years ago as a recent graduate of the prestigious Imperial Japanese Military Academy. At that time, the way forward was clear to him. The Qing should do what the Japanese did in their Meiji Restoration in Japan. The Qing Empire should be transformed into a constitutional monarchy. But the powers that be spurned Liang Bi's advice. The history of the Qing dynasty describes his position at court as follows. He had proved himself a competent military reformer, but his advice on wider political questions was ignored, and he began to doubt that his vision of the future would ever amount to anything. But now, Liang Bi's day has come. He seizes his chance and rushes headlong into the highest councils of state, and straight into the eye of a storm. Peng Jiajin feels he knows every line of Liang Bi's face. Ever since the revolutionary lead selected Liang Bi as the target, he studied this picture intently. The stakes are too high to make a mistake. The consequences of taking out the wrong target are unthinkable. An implacable foe of the Republic would still be in power, and the cover of the League's star assassin would be blown. But how can he be sure it's a real likeness? After all, he's never met the man. An evening with a contact in the military academy and a glance at the portraits hanging on the wall put any doubts he has about the identity of the man in the photograph to rest. It is, indeed, of Liang Bi. As he gazes at the picture and contemplates his next move, the feeling that their destinies are entwined gives him a strange feeling of closeness to his target. Liang Bi is no longer a remote political enemy. He's a man from Sichuan just like himself. Peng Jiajin was born in Jintang County, Sichuan province. His father was also a radical, a leading light in the railway protection movement. Peng's political outlook was greatly influenced by his father. In particular, it was the senior Peng's insistence that armed force and military strength pointed the way to national salvation that led him to enroll in the Chengdu Military Academy. His success in the academy won him a scholarship, where he was introduced not only to modern Japanese military doctrines, but also the revolutionary ideas of Sun Yat-sen. This photo shows Peng Jiajin and 6 other new recruits to the Revolutionary League, their fully shaven heads symbolizing their rejection of Manchu authority. As he sits waiting, Peng Jiajin reflects that Liang Bi must have had a difficult life growing up in Chengdu. Liang Bi, though a Manchu gentleman, hasn't led a charmed existence. He's only very distantly related to the imperial family, and his father died when he was very young, leaving his mother to bring up their children alone. Life must have been hard for him. Liang Bi's character bears all the hallmarks of a tough upbringing. Unlike other Manchu youths of royal background, he was never a rake, never a playboy. Above all, he grew into a man who valued loyalty and filial piety above all else. Values that explain his continuing loyalty to the Qing cause, but which never turned him into a conservative, hidebound by tradition, as the imperial court saw when he cut off his queue. The soft features of the face captured in the photograph tell Peng that Liang Bi is a good man. Pity for the man marked down for destruction wells up in the assassin. Dark, cold uncertainty plays on the minds of even the coolest and most callous killers. Outside, Peng's accomplice Wang Chongyi lingers anxiously. Tonight's operation is the fruit of hard-won experience. The revolutionaries have learned the lesson of the failed attempt on the life of Yuan Shikai. Bomb attacks have to be precisely targeted. Street bombings give the target too much scope to take evasive action. The killing and maiming of innocent bystanders, meanwhile, undermines public support for the revolutionary movement. Liang Bi has to be taken out in one fell swoop. Liang Bi still labours under the delusion that he can refashion the Qing Empire and make it fit for the modern world. He's convinced that although the revolutionary army in the south is sweeping all before it, the Qing still hold the trump cards. One thing's for sure, Liang Bi has no intention of going down in history as the man who sacrificed hundreds of years of Qing tradition for the sake of a flash-in-the-pan republic.
在这个清末呀，这个清朝马上就要崩溃的前夕，确实有一批满族的官员呢，希望能够自救，希望能够自救。但是当时这个排满风潮，就是革命派的排满风潮呢，气候已成，所以我们讲这是包括铁良、包括良弼，甚至包括前面的恩民，都是在这种时代的浪潮下呀，确实是既是时代的悲剧。 清朝的悲剧，满族的满人悲剧，所以对他个人而言呢，也是一个悲剧。
By now, Liang Bi is worn out. The Zhongshe party, the Qing dynasty's last hope, will fail. But Liang Bi doesn't come. Peng Jiajian's been waiting for more than 5 hours, lurking in the darkness, his fingers numb and cold. Now, morning isn't far off. Reluctantly, he calls off the assassination. It seems that Liang Bi's time hasn't yet come. But then, suddenly, just as he's given up all hope, he sees something glowing in the distance. It's a lantern, and it's Liang Bi. Peng Jiajian stands his ground, barring the gate with his 2 bombs. If the first bomb doesn't do its job, there's another for good luck. And if all else fails, there's his revolver. Liang Bi reaches the gate, sees the strange youth with wild, crazy eyes, and wonders who he is. With their irreconcilable political objectives, they're like an irresistible force meeting an immovable object. The result can only be devastating. With lightning speed, he reaches into his pocket. In the attack, Liang Bi's left leg is blown off. 3 days later, he dies of his wounds. When the bomb exploded, a piece of shrapnel ricocheted off a horse mount stand, hitting Peng in the head and killing him instantly. In 1912, 2 stars collided and then disappeared into the cold and dark forever. But the country and changed it for good. Liang Bi's last words were, "The government doesn't appreciate my talent. The assassin is an outstanding man, a man who understands me, who appreciates my talent." Peng's bomb dealt the tottering Qing dynasty its death blow. With no credible leaders left, the Zhongshe party collapsed, and with a leadership vacuum at the very heart of the regime, the Qing dynasty, the dynasty that had ruled China for 268 years, imploded. But the question remains, if Liang Bi hadn't met his untimely end, would the Qing dynasty have been able to maintain its grip on power? Nobody knows for sure. All we can say is that Qing rule was hanging by a thread. Whether the weighty edifice of Qing rule could have been supported by a single thread for long remains open to question. All we can say for certain is that once that thread was cut by Peng Jiajian's bomb, the Qing dynasty came tumbling down. During the final years of the Qing dynasty, there were over 50 assassinations. Scholars are divided over the role these assassins played in the revolution that eventually swept the Qing from power. And the most that can be said is that these activities destabilized a traditional feudal society that took the exercise of autocratic power for granted. They showed that opposition to the Qing rulers did exist, and there were forces at work which were beyond the control and beyond the understanding of their imperial masters. Of course, random killing does nothing to address the root causes of injustice. But we can perhaps say that the blood spilt in these turbulent years represents the first rays of the red to come.